Remember that your skin is porous, which means that whatever you put on your skin gets into your bloodstream. So if it's toxic, your liver will still have to process the toxins. If your liver and other detoxification organs are already overburdened, the toxins may begin to escape through the skin, causing acne. In this week's episode, I'll be discussing how to cleanse your skin effectively to reduce the likelihood of acne and help keep it looking clear, glowing, and healthy, helping you to get your confidence back with abundance. I'll also be covering why the medical community are failing to treat acne successfully. This is a complex subject and one that, since the events of 2020, are now much easier for people to see and comprehend. As someone who is just coming up for 28 years in the health and wellness industry, I sadly see a lot of medical treatments doing harm when there are often cheaper, more natural, more effective, and safer alternatives. To kick things off, I'll be discussing how to cleanse your skin effectively. In my book, Eliminating Adult Acne for Good, I discuss the topic of skin cleansing at the end of the book, as it's far less important in terms of reducing acne in the long term compared to what happens on the inside of your body when it comes to acne. However, I know this is a question that many of you have, and skin cleansing definitely does make a difference. But as I just said, it's less important than what goes on the inside of your body. My clients' experience is that when they follow my daily skin ritual, their skin is better and it helps to avoid breakouts. As I'm sure you're previously aware, acne can be caused by blockages in the hair follicles. So if we can keep the skin and therefore the hair follicles clear, then we may reduce the likelihood of acne. The first thing to be very clear about are the products that you use to clean your skin. You need to find a good brand that does not use toxic chemicals, that may eventually increase your chances of acne. There are some good brands available, and you will find a list of them that can be found on the resources page of my website, which you'll find at www.eliminateadultacne.com/resources. Remember that your skin is porous, which means that whatever you put on your skin gets into your bloodstream. So if it's toxic, your liver will still have to process the toxins. If your liver and other detoxification organs are already overburdened, the toxins may begin to escape through the skin, causing acne. A good rule to follow that if it's not safe to drink or eat, it's not safe to put on your skin. If you want to avoid poisoning yourself and potentially increasing the chances of acne or any other chronic degenerative disease, then please check out EWG's Skin Deep site at www.ewg.org/Skin Deep. And I really advise you to check out that site before buying any more personal care products or cosmetics. You can also check your own products on that site in order to find out to see how safe or in fact how toxic your products are. The skin routine that I recommend is very simple. Simpler, in fact, than you might have possibly ever imagined. What I suggest is to only wash your face, chest, and back with clean, unchlorinated water and no soap. After washing, and whilst your skin is still moist, use organic aloe vera gel with or without tea tree oil on your face and any skin with acne or skin that has recently been exposed to the sun for any period of time. Not only is aloe vera cooling and moisturizing, but it has an acidic pH, which is advantageous for the skin and the skin microbiome. Aloe vera is also anti-inflammatory, aids in wound healing, which is great for acne. Restoring skin to an optimal acidic pH can also be achieved both with topical applications as well as oral supplementation such as borage oil and also organic aloe vera, which can be consumed as a drink or as a dietary supplement. It may seem very strange not to use soap on your affected areas, and if it does feel strange to you, it did to me too. So what I suggest is to trust in the process, as to my surprise, many people's skin took another step forward in how good it looked after using this approach, as it did for me as well. And you'll likely probably be surprised how effective water alone can be at cleansing the skin. With regards to body washes, soaps, and shower gels, ensure you use a good quality brand. Dr. Julie Greenberg, a holistic dermatologist, suggests washing your pits and your pits being your armpits and your bits being your crotch area, with soap. It's important to keep your skin in a slightly acidic state, and washing with soaps and body washes often leaves the skin alkaline, increasing the likelihood of acne. Washing the rest of the body with unchlorinated, i.e. filtered tap water alone, is all you need. It's crucial to use either a whole house water filter or a shower filter that filters out toxins, especially chlorine, which is basically bleach, and a filter that will filter out heavy metals. Also, be sure to check your skin products, as I mentioned, on the EWG Skin Deep database, which you can find at www.ewg.org/skin deep. And when you look on the site, ensure that you use products that score a score of 2 or lower on their database. If you're in a job or play sport where your face gets dirty and you can't get rid of the dirt with just water alone, then ensure you use a high quality, slightly acidic shower gel or soap. It's also advised to moisturize the skin afterwards, whether it be with aloe vera gel or another high quality moisturizer made by a good brand. If wearing makeup, a good quality cleanser that removes the top layer of dead cells, oil, perspiration, and pollution is necessary. A cleanser or a good cleanser removes the top layer of dead cells, oil, perspiration, and pollution. If your skin is not cleansed properly, it could become dull and flaky, and the hair follicles could block, and then they could block up with oil, dirt, and cellular waste, causing breakouts and congestion. A purifying face mask can be used to help draw toxins from the skin, and these can be especially useful when you are initially starting out on your journey to great skin. Ingredients like charcoal and bentonite clay are often used to help draw the toxins from the top layers of the skin. These can be used after washing, with just water of course, and applying whilst the face is still slightly wet. Leave on for 15 to 20 minutes, then wash off with clean, warm water, and moisturize afterwards with aloe vera gel or another high quality moisturizer. Purifying face masks should be initially used twice a week and reduced to once a week as the skin improves. However, be aware that they can, in the short term, increase the breakouts, but this usually only lasts a very short period of time, so don't let a short-term response hold you back in the long run. Good quality soaps, shower gels, and face masks can be found in the resources section of my website at www.eliminateadultacne.com/resources. I'll also pop a link in the show notes. Also, that's all for cleaning your skin for today. If you still have more questions on skin cleansing, feel free to send me a question via social media. Again, see the details in the show notes for where you can contact me. There are also other ways to cleanse your skin, such as dry brushing, skin rubs, and vinegar baths, but I'll save those for another day. Litsa was a 30-year-old professional woman suffering from severe acne and scarring. She was in utter despair and didn't know where to turn. She worried her partner might leave her because of her skin, and Litsa's condition was as bad as I'd ever seen. Following testing, it was found that Litsa had toxoplasma, as well as food sensitivities to gluten and soy. Litsa was a great client to work with. She jumped in and followed the program almost 100% to the letter. She cut out the foods that she was sensitive to, had infrared saunas as advised, and used the essential oils recommended. After working with me, Litsa reported how much her skin had improved and how she now had much more confidence. She has also gone on to marry her partner and started a family. Happy days. If you would like to achieve the same kind of result as Litsa, you can now follow a comprehensive step-by-step guide in my book, Eliminating Adult Acne for Good, available now from all major online bookstores and via my website at www.bodycheck.co.uk/books. Next, I'm going to discuss why the medical community are failing to treat acne successfully. I'm often confronted by people asking me, why is the medical approach allowed to continue and why don't doctors know more or do more? Well, sadly, it comes down to market forces and economics. Whilst we're led to believe that the medical establishment and their colleagues in the pharmaceutical industry have a common goal of helping people and helping people achieve optimal health, sadly, this isn't the case. I'm not for one second suggesting that people working in these industries are bad people or they're consciously doing harm. And I am aware that in some circumstances, they do absolutely amazing things, particularly, emergency medical care, for instance. However, money talks. Now, what you may or may not be aware of is that with their huge financial clout, the pharmaceutical industry has a lot of influence on several sectors. Firstly, they heavily subsidize the education of medical doctors and in return have almost complete control over the curriculum. Pharmaceutical companies also have a major influence over the organizations who are supposed to regulate them. In my book, Eliminating Adult Acne for Good, I share a table displaying how much of the funding for the pharmaceutical regulators in each country comes from the very companies they are supposed to regulate. What I'll do is I'll put a link to that table in the show notes so you can see that for yourself. Now, if you look at the table, what you'll see in the case of Australia, for instance, is that 96% of the funding for the regulators comes from the pharmaceutical companies. Now, I think it would be a little bit naive to think that these companies invest so much money without expecting a return on their investment. Some might even suggest that this is a case of the fox guarding the chicken coop. Sadly, corruption is rife within the industry, especially when it comes to pharmaceutical regulation. And there's a constant revolving door of regulators authorizing products. And then the person that authorized the products soon joins the company that stands to make billions of dollars from that product. And the person that's just approved that product often receives the reward of a multi-million-dollar contract. Now, through the lobbying of government officials and politicians, the pharmaceutical companies have a huge influence over government policies to maximize the profits for their organizations. According to Statista in 2020, the pharmaceutical industry gave $306 million to US politicians alone, which is not a bad gig if you're a US politician without ethics or morals. In addition, pharmaceutical companies and their government agency partners control research grant funding. This means that research is only performed in order to make their products look good and further their business interests and profit margins. This was illustrated very well in Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s book, The Real Anthony Fauci. Having performed a lot of research on acne myself, I've discovered that much of the research is performed on medical products. Now, whilst there are some research papers on nutrition and acne, there is little profit to be made from nutritional advice. And due to the huge expense of research, the research in this area is relatively limited. What I have also noticed with the research that I've looked at is that many studies performed on acne are rarely, if ever, longer than 6 to 12 weeks. My own experience suffering from acne and using pharmaceutical products is that I did achieve short-term reduction in symptoms, but in the long term, they made my acne worse. So a research paper might suggest that a particular product is beneficial. However, if the study was followed up at, say, 1, 5, or 10-year intervals, chances are it would be a completely different outcome. Very sadly, what we have is a medical pharmaceutical industry, first and foremost, that has a responsibility to its shareholders and not to you. The shareholders of any business are there to make money. This is what a commercial enterprise does, or otherwise, it would be a charity. So what we have is a medical system whose priority is to make as much money as possible and to continue to increase growth on their products or on their profits year on year. With acne products, the more they sell, the more profit they make. If they produce products that were actually effective, it would prevent repeat business and greatly reduce their profits. Now, I am a great example of someone who bought their ineffective and toxic products for 18 years, despite them not working, because I felt if I stopped using them, my acne would get worse. This is how they make money. Benzoyl peroxide, for instance, is meant to be used for only 6 weeks. However, most people often use it for years, just like I did when I didn't know any better. The worst thing you can do for the pharmaceutical industry is cure your acne, because then you are no longer generating profits for them. What you might also find interesting is that the pharmaceutical companies have received the largest criminal fines in history, adding up to several billions of dollars for making misleading claims about their products, their efficacy, and safety. They've also committed fraud, also bribery of medical doctors, to name just a few misdemeanors. These companies are so rich and powerful that they can just put these huge fines down to marketing costs and still make huge profits. I previously mentioned that pharmaceutical companies have great influence over the curriculum of medical degrees at medical school. A large proportion of their training includes the study of symptomology and pharmacology, and doctors are trained that if they see a certain symptom, there are options as to which pharmaceutical interventions they might use to treat the symptom. The problem with this approach is that it encourages dependence on medications and does not attempt to deal with the causes of the disease in the first place. So if you present with acne, you might be offered antibiotics, birth control pills, or benzoyl peroxide, but that does nothing to deal with the cause of your acne. Even if the treatment you're given works in the long term, which is unlikely, you are likely to suffer side effects and be reliant on these products for the rest of your life, along with other pharmaceutical products that you'll be prescribed to deal with the side effects of the acne medications. So what this does do is create a great repeat business for the companies making these products without helping you overcome your acne in the long term. Now, I do have sympathy for medical doctors. I do believe that most of them are genuinely trying to help. And there are a small minority of fantastic doctors who go beyond their training and provide a highly effective service. Sadly, for most doctors, their training has let them down. When speaking to several doctors in recent years, they tell me that in 7 years of medical school, they received between 0 and 4 hours of nutrition training. This might be why the UK's National Health Service still believes that there is no link between diet and acne, and why they don't really know how to treat patients with acne with any great success. Well, that's it for today's episode. Don't forget to send me your acne questions, and make sure to join me next time for more great information on how to eliminate your adult acne on the Adult Acne Podcast. And don't forget, make sure to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.